Okay, so we have capital D over common D equals square root of, and we're seeing this complex looking fraction where we're square rooting. Okay, so we want to make f the subject, but notice that we have f in two places. And so obviously we're going to have to get those two f terms together and then factor out f. So you can only have one f that we're making the subject of the formula. So the first out of business is to look what's affecting this side that we're trying to get the f isolated. We're trying to get f isolated. This side is basically affected by the square root here. It's affected. It's actually square rooting the entire quantity here of the fraction. And so to get rid of the square root, since it's affecting everything else, we square root both sides. And so that leaves us with d to be squared over common letter d to be squared equals, and square root cancels square, so we have f plus p over f minus p. Now, again, if we really want to get f as a subject, we need to remove this denominator here still and try to get the f terms together. So what we can do, we can actually cross multiply. That's a hint as to what we can do. So we can just multiply these guys, numerator with denominator. So we have d squared times f minus p equals d squared times f plus p. All right, so now to get the f terms together, we need to multiply out brackets. We have d squared f minus d squared p equals d squared f plus d squared p. How we did that? Well, we use distributive law. As you can see, d squared times f is d squared f, d squared times p is d squared p, d squared times f is d squared f, and d squared times p is d squared p. But bear in mind, we're looking at the capital and the common and these. Okay, now we need to get it. We need to do what? We need to get the f terms together, the terms with f, so we can factor out f. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract this term here from over here, since it's adding to d squared p. I'm going to subtract it from this side as well. All right, and so let's look at what we have so far here. This will cancel out this, so I'm left with what? D squared f minus df, as we can say d squared f minus df, and then we have this minus d squared p. So what I need to do, I need to get rid of that from this side. So I'm going to just basically add d squared p. So this will cancel out because it's minus d squared p. By adding it, it cancels out. But what we do to one side, we need to do the other side. We need to add d squared p on this side as well. All right, and so we'll end up with what? We end up on this side with what? Put equal sign, of course. I want to put that equal sign. We're going to put d squared p plus capital D squared p. Now this allows me to factor out f. So we're going to have f, open bracket, and then put d squared minus f. And then we can actually, if we want to, we can factor out p. I think that would be cool. But although our focus, no, I think I made a mistake here, so let's just correct that quickly. So we factor out f. By factoring f, we're going to have a d here. And now I'm saying we can actually factor out p just to make it sure it looks a little decent. We don't have to, I don't think we probably necessarily need to do that, but by practice we tend to factorize once we can to make things a little simpler. So in case we have to substitute, we don't have to substitute so many times. All right, so we're going to have d squared plus the capital D squared there. Check it by distributive law. P times d squared is d squared p. P times d squared, capital D, by the way, would be capital D squared p. Okay, so now we need to get this f isolated. Now, this f is actually multiplying the quantity, or the binomial d squared minus d. So we're able to get rid of the quantity, the binomial, because it's multiplying f by dividing by itself. This cancels this. And we can do the same thing over here. Divide the quantity over here by the same capital D squared minus d. Now bear in mind again that what we have here is d squared minus d there. And up top we have a common letter, while we have a capital letter here. So we really can't do anything here. Okay. Okay, so we have f equals, I'm going to just go up here and write this as this f that we have remaining on this side equals p open bracket d squared plus capital D squared close bracket d squared minus d, and that's the solution.